both of us. Kinda.
Gonna move the table. I can get the other one.
Okay, that looks all right.
Okay.
I think. Get the battery charger out of here. Anybody on there yet?
There's one.
Everybody probably give up
Yeah.
after about noon.
Grandpa Eric, KM, and Lee Schultz. Grandpa Eric, KM, and
You want to turn that down?
I'll turn it off.
You want to turn that down?
Turn it off.
Okay. Grandpa Eric says hi y'all. KM says hello. Lee Schultz says hello Skip and Sue from cold Pittsburgh. I saw a thing on this news this morning, the weather, about 2 Arctic cold waves coming through the Midwest and northeastern part of the United States. One's coming down. It drops all the way down to Georgia, I think. And then as soon as that one goes away, right behind it's another one coming down. And they're saying the temperature for this time of year is supposed to be somewhere between anywhere from 20 to 35 degrees below normal. So I don't know what that means by nighttime temperatures, because I know that Michigan and some places up there got several inches of snow already.
Oh.
By the way, we're porch sitting in the backyard again because it's a little breezy out front. And it's not that I probably couldn't do it out front, but just breezy. I'm assuming everybody can hear us okay now with the microphones. I tested them out the last week when we had no audio inside the lanai. Come to find out it was a battery. This is the only powered mic I got, and there's a battery in it, and it was dead. And apparently when this mic goes dead, it shuts everything off. So it should be okay. Make sure, somebody just say something so you can hear both of us.
Thank you, Grandpa Eric. You know how colorful I am. I love the colors. Oh, Woodland, California. Sunny and 56 in Woodland.
1952 Toots says, hi, greetings from on top of the world. Hey, on top of the world. Somebody sent me a email. I wish I could remember names. I'm bad about that. Last week, I think, said that they just moved into on top of the world. They've been watching our channel for quite a while.
It was Carol.
Who was it?
Carol?
Carol who?
Trying to think of last name because we got a lot of Carols.
Usually it's a YouTube name.
Well, like I said, this isn't. This is her name.
She sent me an email. How do you know what the email said? You don't get my emails.
No. I don't know about who sent you an email.
Anyway, she invited us up to on top of the world to come up and see her house and maybe give us a tour around that place. I'm going to take her up on that because I don't get them invitations up there for some strange reason. But I'm going to do that. I have to find out exactly how do I get in this place because I know it's a gated area. I talked to Ira a couple days ago. He told me that all you need is the gate number pass thing, I guess. I don't know. He said, so if she would give that to me, he said, all I got to do is just go up there and punch that code in there and I can go on in and then go to her house. Other than that, she has to put her name on the list up there of accepted guests and then I can check in. So I'll get it figured out between now and then when we come up there. I'm going to have to look and find her email so I can send her an email back and let her know exactly when we plan on coming up there. Right now, I'm kind of busy getting some things done. I'm really, believe it or not, I'm working on the WNL show for this month already. And I talked to some people. I'm not ready to go yet, but I'm just saying, working on that, working on some videos. We had a special interview yesterday. And so we're just working on a lot of stuff, editing and all that. I'll get around to it.
Yeah, well, we got, we're showing the whole United States here.
What?
So we're showing the whole United States. We've got California,
Oh.
we've got Colorado, we've got Pennsylvania.
John Tamulanis. I just saw on the news a while ago another one of them car incidents where a car somewhere in California, probably around the LA area, drove his car through a pack of kids, and they sent something like 17 of them to the hospital in critical condition. I got to tell you, I don't know what's going on with people's minds these days.
The 1952 2 says that we deserted TV. So
what?
Said 1952 2 says they deserted TV. I'm assuming they mean the villages.
Oh, well, so what?
Well, I don't know.
You're here, you're gone. The secret about the villages and the people that approve all the building around here, there's a couple of secrets. You have to know the history. I was here back in the 80s when Wildwood was a drug-infested town. There was nothing there. And where we're at was nothing but farm ground and pasture ground and cows. That's all there was around here. So now they've got this money coming in, tax dollars for each and every house. And that's what's built the new police station, bringing them new police cars, bringing in new police officers. That's where this money comes from, putting in the roads, because of what's going on here, the construction going on. And Wildwood has really never, ever experienced in the history of Sumter County any kind of growth like this. At one time, Sumter County was probably considered one of the poorest counties in all of Florida. I mean, that's how bad it was here. So they're not going to give that up anytime soon. They're not going to have to. So when you say that I'm moving out, I didn't like it. That's okay. You don't have to like it. I may move out. But you know what? They don't lose a dime for you moving out. Because as long as that house is standing here, they're getting tax dollars on that house.
Right.
And whoever buys that house is going to continue paying your bond.
Yeah. I didn't say he didn't like it.
What?
Didn't say he didn't like it.
Oh.
Just said he moved on.
Well, you're going to assume if they were here and they moved away, you didn't like it.
Right.
KM says cold in Pittsburgh, 3 to 4 feet in Buffalo. Oh, I thought it was 3 to 4 inches.
Oh, so that's what they're supposed to get, yeah.
Well, they get a lot of lake effect up there. I was up Buffalo one year. I thought I was going to have to camp out there. It was in my semi-truck, in a truck stop. And I was trying to get out. I was loaded. I just wanted to get out. I had to go back to somewhere, Indiana or someplace with this load. And I took a break at a truck stop up there somewhere back in the day, probably a 76 truck stop maybe. And I went in to get a cup of coffee and a little bite to eat or whatever, and I was going to continue going down the road. Well, by the time I walked into the truck stop, an hour later, and walked out of the truck stop, I swear to you, there was 6 inches of snow on the ground that quick. And that's when was my first experience of what lake effect snow can do for you. That's when I found out that Buffalo in the state of New York and possibly the rest of the United States generally gets more snow there than anywhere else.
Who would have thought, huh? Grandpa Eric wants to know if you made a decision on the RV.
No, it's still sitting over there.
It's not moving. It's not eating much.
I don't know. I really don't want to get rid of it because I really like traveling in it. Even if I just go to Indiana to visit the kids, I like taking the motor home because I can pull over anytime I want, take a nap whenever I want, and it's in comfort. My own bed, my own TV, I have my own electricity, I have my own food.
Yeah.
And I just like traveling that way. Where in a car, you can't really do that. You pull over somewhere, what are you going to do? Sleep in the front seat? I'm too old for that.
Yeah. On the other hand, it's sitting there doing nothing. So, when things sit, it's just like houses. When houses sit, they start going bad.
Yeah, but I go over and check on it.
Yeah.
There's a couple things right now. I got to probably replace them 2 steering tires. But other than that, everything's firing up. I'll check everything. Sometimes I'll go over there and I'll clean it up and I'll just kind of mess around. And it's nothing for me to lay in bed and watch TV for an hour before I come home. I don't know. I got no reason to be in a hurry to go anywhere.
Oh, hello from Metro Atlanta. Hello.
By the way, beer of the day, I don't know if you can see it or not. Yingling Oktoberfest.
Yeah. We resorted to beer when we knew we didn't have the thing plugged in.
What?
Said we resorted to beer when we knew we was in trouble when you didn't have the thing plugged
Yeah, I
in.
forgot to plug the iPad in since last week. I just took it in there and I laid it down, and I didn't plug it in to charge it. Normally I do,
Yeah.
but because of the fiasco last week, I just forgot. Then here we are starting off with another fiasco. So when I hooked this up, I had just a hair over 50% charge, and I didn't want to wait no longer. So basically, we're not going to be here 2 hours. I'm going to be here until the low battery thing comes up, and then we're gone. And I'm going to guess that's going to be approximately an hour or a little bit less.
Yeah.
Figure that's enough. That's long enough anyway. What do you guys think of my short? I put a short up for you to look at. I've been doing that on Patreon regularly. That's one of the series that I started putting on Patreon. So I just grabbed a short. I don't remember which one I even grabbed. And I thought, well, I'm going to test it out on YouTube and see how you guys like it. And, so just let me know.
You had the picture of us ladies at tea.
What?
You had the picture of us ladies at tea.
That was the, let them know I'm late.
Yeah.
Whatever you call that. I just made a short. Those are easy. I did it on my phone.
Portland, Maine has joined the chat. Hello, Maine. Dale McDermott said he liked the true and false.
I think it's interesting. I got that idea from another YouTube channel person that I know and watch. And I asked him, I said, I'm not going to do it the way you do it. I said, do you mind if I steal your idea? And he said, go for it. So I am. So, yeah, I just thought it was kind of interesting to pick some things out. I got one that I want to put out, and I'm hesitant about really, I'm going to put it on Patreon first probably, but it's a true or false questions about Harold Schwartz, things that I bet you didn't know.
Yeah.
In case you don't know who Harold Schwartz is, he's the grandfather of the people that run the villages today. He's the original guy, the guy that started this whole mess.
Harold was a nice guy. He really was. He had such a vision, if you could imagine. And I said when he started out, and then when his son came down here to help him out, they really got things going then. But just to imagine, I mean, can you imagine that far back, 20-some years ago, and having the vision for something? I don't know if they ever thought it would turn out like this, as big as it is, and I don't think that was the idea at the time. But they give us old folks a utopia. That's how I think of it. And I know you guys see the news when Skip does the news on Friday, and there are people that drink too much here, and I said the roundabouts are a problem.
Really, the only problem around here is people.
Mm-hmm.
People drink too much. They know better. People don't know how to drive in a roundabout. That's their problem because they took a driver's test. They got a driver's license. They're supposed to know. People fight in bars around here. A lot of those people don't even live here. It's local people around the villages that want to, I don't know, go out and have a beer, and they hear about this place over here, or they hear about that place over there. So them and their buddies come into a place like this, and, some people just want to cause trouble, like that video I did in the middle of the night where I took a golf cart ride and went down to Brownwood. You saw the lady. She left her dog in a bar, and the guy was trying to tell her, you left your dog. And then she was just cussing like crazy, raising heck, going back to the Brownwood Hotel. So she didn't live here. And she went the wrong way to go to the hotel. He was trying to tell her how to get to the hotel. So she was cussing some more. I just stood there with the camera and just let it run because I didn't know, I wasn't going to get involved in that mess. But she was drunk and disorderly, and, that just happens. But a lot of the stuff that happens, it's not villagers causing these things. It's outsiders causing these things. And I think that's where the argument comes for a lot of things about rentals. You hear people talk about renting apartments is causing a problem, blah, blah, blah. It's that coming in. And people that like us that are retired here, we want to have a quiet life, but yet have activities like golf, things like that. That stuff gets in the way when all of a sudden I'm leery about going to certain places in my own retirement community because of that happening. One of them would be Margarita Republic. I've been in there years ago. I don't think I'd go in there today, especially at night. There's too much trouble up there. So I bring that up once in a while. I'm being a little sarcastic, I suppose, when I say, did you ever think anything like this would happen in a retirement community? I didn't.
But like I said, the more people you get, in which, you know, we got over 140,000 people now, so that's an issue. You know,
Listen, that number's all over the map too. 140,000, she says. Next guy will tell you 120. I watched Papa Pineapples last night. He said there's over 200,000 living here. I don't know.
I don't know how many bought in the new area, but I know there's quite a few every month. But like I said, the last legal count that I had was 140,000. So that was posted.
Now that 140,000, is that full timers?
They didn't distinguish.
No, what they do is they count the houses times 2. That they say that's the estimated amount of people living here. And they should have the exact amount of people living here because they have the assessor, whoever that person is that goes around and talks to you at the door and writes stuff down. Well, if they're part timers, they go around here. There's nobody in that house, so they can't talk to that person in that house. So they know what the exact numbers are.
Well, they know who's paying taxes.
And then people talking about. Somebody sent me a thing here a while back. She said, "I didn't think kids were allowed to live in there full time," and I sent her a thing back saying, "Well, that's not true. In the districts that we're in, they have district rules. And then one of the district rules tells you, in our district anyway, nobody can be here full time unless they're 19 years of age and older. I don't like that rule either, but that's the rule. But other districts has family parks. And in those family parks is where people with little children can live full time. So that's why I keep telling people, no matter where you're buying around here, check your district rules. I do know they're building a huge family park south of 44 down there. I don't know exactly where it is. You know?
Middletown, is that what you're talking? Middleton?
Where they're building the family park.
Yeah, I think that's what
they got the approval to build it because they said they need the people live there because the villages needs help with employees. I think all that's crap, but that's what they're saying. So it's down there somewhere. So just be careful when you buy down there. You need to know what's the district rules. Right. Go to the villages districtgov.org, right? villagesdistrictgov.org. On the left, you'll see a thing there that says District 1, District 2, District 3, District 4. All the district rules are right there. Click on any one of them, and you can see what your rules are for that district.
And there's a million other things you can find on that site, too, if you've got questions about things. And let's see. Meadow 37 said, "Did you hear Jerry and Linda mentioned you in one of their last videos as the granddaddy of the village's YouTubers?"
Well, I am.
I know.
Well, I appreciate you, Jerry, mentioning it. I appreciate it. I really do.
Said paying their respects.
Huh?
Paying their respects.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
They've done a heck of a good job. They really have.
Yeah. No, they surpassed me in subscribers a long time ago.
Oh yeah.
They just blew around me. I think it's just because of my attitude. People don't like my attitude. I mean, obviously you do, or you wouldn't be here. But I'm just saying, generally. Oh, listen. I try to raise enough money for the Children's Wish thing. What is that? Is that them red birds back again? See them on the other side?
Yeah.
I hate them little bastards.
They're birds, for God's sake.
Those are the ones that flip my mulch out in the grass all the time, and I got to keep putting it back in there, and then the next day he flips it back out there again.
Well, I'm surprised they're there, actually, because there's a couple snakes in there.
There is?
Well, I said, after getting it trimmed, they might have run off, but there was 2 back there, because Linda back there sent me a picture.
That's back there. That's not here.
No, she was taking a picture of this bush.
Huh.
But like I said, I think since they trimmed it, I think they may have moved on. Yeah. That's one thing you don't have to worry about. The snakes around here, they don't hang around much.
No, they're chasing lizards is what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get there's a black snake. I don't know what it's called, a racer. I don't know. But they get in the bushes. And I don't know how they do it, but I'll tell you what, they can get in them bushes, and if you watch them, they can literally run through them bushes so fast, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
But they're chasing them lizards to get them. That's what they live on, lizards and little frogs. But we don't see them really all that much. I've seen them maybe, in 8 years, I've seen maybe 3 out front. I've seen 1. I saw 1 going through our front yard, going over to the neighbor's house. And I back here one time, I trimmed bushes and I saw 1.
Yeah, and that's what I think they come from the prairie over there, and they're just moving across.
Prairie. It's a swamp.
It's a swamp. But they keep moving. They don't stay in one place very long. Chris Settin says, hi, Skip and Sue. Sat in Belgium tuning in. Found out today my company have agreed to me transferring to the U.S. So sometime in June, me and Andrea will be joining you in the villages.
Cool.
Hey.
Get down here, get in your golf cart, and drop by.
Yeah, come see us.
Porch Settin.
Yeah, we don't know if we're going to be on the back porch or the front porch.
Are those the ones that gave us the cookies?
I believe so, yeah.
Are you the ones that gave us the cookies?
Chris from the UK.
Well, I don't remember the names.
Chris.
Who was here? I don't remember their names.
Oh, okay.
We had a meet and greet. They brought us some cookies.
Well, I think this was the people that were renting down here. I'm not sure.
I don't know who that is either.
Okay. It's hard to keep track of all the names. We meet so many people.
I thought the ones that gave us the cookies said they were from the UK. And I asked them, I said...
No, they were in Germany.
But that's part of the UK, right?
Well, and then that's what he said. He was tuning in from Belgium. And...
yeah, this is the guy.
Okay.
And then I thought they said that... Because I asked them, I said, is England the same as the UK? Because I was confused on it, and they says, kind of, but no.
Kind of, but no.
Yeah, I guess England's like Indiana. The UK is like the United States.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, but congratulations. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get over here, like I said, come on by. Moon by. Moon back. That's what they used to say all the time in trucking when they was guiding you in. Moon back. Moon back. I used to tell them, get out of my way. I can see what I'm doing.
Oh, Rick, honey, you don't want to know.
What?
You wanted to know what was my drink of the day. And actually, it was...
It's a margarita.
Kind of a bad day. So it's a margarita. I waited till noon. These are so neat. You know, they're the perfect mix, I think. And like you can buy them at Walmart or the grocery. I think they're $1 a bottle. But for a mixed drink, they're very, very good for $1. And I don't drink that often, but when I do, I want the good stuff.
Meadow 37 says that's a really pretty shirt.
Well, thank you.
I think it is too. Oh, she might be talking to you.
Yes, and this one isn't a name. This is Counterparts. So usually it's Leoma Lovegrove or Ellen Negby, because I just love all the colors. And this
1952 toots. That must be who sent me the thing. So just tell them at the gate who you are there to see. Well, the problem is I don't remember. Just like, what am I supposed to tell them? I'm here to see 1952 toots.
Yeah, that's a problem.
What part are you in? Must be talking to somebody else. Rick Gottinger. Hey, buddy. How you doing? Ain't seen you for a while. Diane McMahon, Colorado Springs. Oh, she's talking to somebody else. Have you grooved to the music scene of Sawgrass? Yeah, I was down there when they had the grand opening that night. I haven't posted that video yet because I figure everybody else has probably posted the video. But I've got the information in there. We went to we was down there. I think videoing a home for sale. So this will be an old video when I post it, because I think if you go back to the first home for sale, it was down there somewhere. And when we got done, I told Sue, I said, it was a nice day. And I said, let's go over to Sawgrass over there. I've never really been there since they got it. I was there when they were building it, but I've really never been there since they had McGrady's open. And it was around lunchtime or a little after lunch. And I said, let's go to McGrady's and get something to eat. I've heard a lot about it. I know it's pricey, but I want to go check it out myself. So we went in there and we sat down. By the way, we had, I don't even know her name, but we had a great waitress.
Yeah.
She could take my sense of humor. I talked her leg off and I harassed her a little bit, and she just laughed and poked back, and I had a really good waitress. And
but
yes, I took really good care of her. But I had the Sawgrass burger, because I like hamburgers a lot. I just got a Sawgrass burger and French fries. I think it was too much for what I got. I forget what it was. It'll be in a video when I post it. I'm just going to say The burger and fries was say $20. It was the beer. I got just a regular Yingling beer in a glass, like I'd get it anywhere else. Uh, they call it a pint though, and I got my doubts about it being a full pint. I don't know, but anyway, $7.50 for Yingling. That's what set me off. And I says, "Why is it $7.50?" Well, because it's a pint. Well, because it's in McGrady's. It makes no difference. The guy that sells the beer here, and the guy has his district, and the guy that delivers this beer here is the same guy that delivers the beer to Evans Prairie, where it's $2.50.
Well, you don't know what it is now. You haven't been there in a while.
I haven't been there for a while.
Everybody's prices have went up.
You go to Cody's, it's 2 for $1. I know it's a gimmick, but still, I used to be able to get beer there. 2 of them was $5. Now, maybe it went up to 3. I don't know. So let's say it's 2 for $6. That was $7.50 for one. That's way too high, and I'll probably never get another beer there again. But outside, here's another little gimmick they play. Well, I guess I shouldn't say gimmick, but I just know what's going on. They've got an outside bar there, which is super nice. I really like the whole Sawgrass theme there. I did. And I talked to a couple of subscribers there. They were waving at me, and I went over and sat down with them. And I was just joking. I said, "Hey, so are we drunk yet?" Yeah. And the guy looked at me and goes, "I think I am."
So, they'd been golfing, and they come in there to grab a beer, and they'd been drinking a few.
So we were just talking for a while. We had a good time talking with him.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, "Man, that's $7.50 for a glass of beer over there." I said, "What do you guys think of that?" Getting their opinion. They live there, not me. And he goes, "Well, we do just get it here." He said, "Over here, you can get 2 of these glasses for $5, I think." Well, the glass he's talking about is, first of all, it's plastic. I don't like beer in a plastic glass at all. I can understand why they don't want it broken and people walking around, so. Yeah. And the plastic glasses they had couldn't have been much more, 5 or 6 ounces.
It was like a highball glass.
Yeah. 2 of them for $5. I mean, that's too much, way too much. So.
But you can always drink iced tea.
That's true. Or you can. And I'm telling you, Sawgrass, it's just going to be a matter of time. I don't care what the rules are. When they have a band playing down there in the evenings like they do, I think they're going to do it. Is it every evening or just on weekends? The band playing there.
I think they have it every weekend, every evening now.
Every evening?
But I don't think they start until 6. Most of the squares start at 5, but I don't think they start until 6 down there. I don't know if that's
They don't have a square.
Stead rule or not, but that's what's
going to happen. People's going to start going down there, setting their chairs up to listen to the band, and they're going to bring their own cooler. There's a rule here in the villages at every square. Coolers are not allowed, period. Because of bombs and, things. And it makes sense, right? No. Yeah. But go to the square any night, and where people's got their chairs set up, look under the chairs or next to their chairs, you'll see coolers all over the place. So it's another one of them rules that nobody enforces.
Oh, yeah, and Chris was the gentleman that crashed your Porch Settin, him and his wife that was renting here. And they didn't bring cookies. They're renting down the street here.
Oh, those are the ones that came by then and sat out front.
That's what he said.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Is he moving to this? Well, he don't know yet. I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's what he said, that his company's transferring, so they're going to be
But he don't know if he's going to move to this area.
Evidently, they've got a house here.
Area. Yeah, I think he liked the Hillsborough area.
Well, evidently, they've got a house here. He does have
a house here?
Let me see.
I thought he was renting down the road, you said.
He was when they were here.
Oh, he's already
Sometime in June, me and Andrew will be joining you in the villages, Chris from the UK. So he doesn't say we're in the villages, but he'll be here.
That don't mean he's got a house.
Well, no. But
he could be renting somewhere.
That's true. But they'll be here in June.
We have this discussion all the time because she leaves out so much in her conversations that when they said, "We'll be seeing you in June," and her mind says, "Oh, they already have a house." I don't say that.
Okay. Okay.
And this bird snake conversation is why we watch.
We get distracted by the wildlife sometimes.
I do. A guy, when I was out there in the geckos running around, especially that big monster one that's out there, every now, I think it's Jerry Bell, he puts on there, "Squirrel." I'm like the dog. I'm looking at you, squirrel.
No segue, just yeah. Uh, and
By the way, I talked to Linda this morning. Well, she texted me, and they were having breakfast. I think it was breakfast at Dairy Queen. I learned something today I did not know. Actually, I could put this on one of my true and false questions. Maybe I ought to keep it a secret. But anyway, I'm going to tell you anyway. Did you know, this goes back in the 1800s, I think, that the state of Texas, Dairy Queen, all Dairy Queens in the state of Texas, has a different menu than Dairy Queens in the rest of the United States? And there's a reason why. Do you know why?
I don't.
You can go to Dairy Queen down there, and she had it today. She had chicken dumplings. You can't get that nowhere around here at a Dairy Queen.
No, I've never heard of that at a
They
Dairy
have a
Queen.
totally different menu, and she sent me the thing about it as to why.
I'll have to look that up. And Mr. Marlin says, "Pray for me. I'm in Illinois now." You're going to see snow, honey.
Oh, is that what you got? Snow coming? Is that what it is?
Well, I
Cold
said
weather?
that storm's going to go all the way across the United States. So,
Well, my mind goes two ways. I thought maybe he might be talking about the recent elections of people. Maybe they got people they don't like, and so pray for me. I don't know. I don't get into politics, so I know everybody's got their own opinion about it. But I will say this about, now, I'm not talking politics, really. I am, but I'm not.
and Vic says that they're praying for everyone in Illinois.
Yeah, I was shocked, because that's all I heard on the news everywhere about this big red wave that's going to take over. And I watched it. I like to watch stuff like that because it's like, to me, it's like watching a boxing match to see who's going to win. My dad used to watch boxing matches because he wanted to see Cassius Clay knocked on his butt. He didn't like him. He thought he was just a mouthy guy. And I kept trying to tell Dad, I said, Dad, that's part of the game. The more people hate him, the more people that'll watch or buy a ticket to go see him get beat up. It's just part of the game.
Doesn't always work, though.
Doesn't always work, but in his defense, I got to tell you, in his lifetime, I don't think there's been a better boxer anywhere, a more contradictory boxer. But the guy in his prime, if you're into boxing, in his prime, he couldn't be touched. Nobody could touch him. Now there's a kind of a lightweight boxer today that's close to the Muhammad Ali was back then. His name is Prince Muhammad something. It's yeah, and but the guy is he's good.
Yeah. And Vic says he'll buy you a beer tomorrow.
Who?
Vic says he'll buy you a beer tomorrow.
Oh, I think we're going over there to film a little bit. Don't say what. I think we're over to film a little bit. It'll be a surprise for everybody.
$1 a beer in a bar in Nicaragua. Ringo says it's a $1 a beer in a bar in Nicaragua.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Ringo Loco says it's $1 a beer at a bar in Nicaragua.
Is that American money?
I don't know.
Because sometimes $1 there in American dollars might be something else.
Well, I don't know.
Like I asked a Canadian guy over here when he gives us money for the kids, is this real money or is this Canadian money?
Yes. Bless his heart, it's real money.
I guess $50 Canadian down here now is, or for American money, is like $70 Canadian money. That just boggles my mind that $70 there or here, or $50 here is worth $70 there. I don't understand any of that.
Well, we don't travel out of the country that much.
I don't understand why it would even be that way. To me, $1's $1. If I go to Canada
because you've not used anything else.
If I go to Canada with a $50 bill and I want to convert it over to Canadian money, I should get $50 Canadian money.
And I think you do. I think that.
No, you don't.
The idea is that it's worth more. I mean, the value of things over there, if it's worth $50 here, it'd be worth $70.
I don't think there's that big of a difference because Canada and the United States has been like that forever. I mean, Ford plants moved up there. Your brother lost his job because they moved their plant up there. So the economy from there to here, and then they had that national agreement for the border and all this and that. I think it's all about the same. I don't see where there's that much difference. Price of gas, I don't know. They might have their own thing about gas up there. By the way, what's the price of gas everywhere right now? Somebody tell me. I try to keep up with this. I know the price of gas here is what?
Last time I looked, 347.
What?
It had went
I
down.
thought you told me it's 315.
Last time I bought it, it was 301, and then the 25 cents from the government went out at the 1st of November, and then the hurricane comes, so it went up even higher. So it was 356, and now it's back down to 347. It's slowly going back down.
Isn't it amazing how it can jump up 50 cents overnight, but it comes down a penny or two at a time?
And fly on the wall. Hello from Erie, Pennsylvania. The forecast is calling for 7 to 11 inches of snow.
Yeah, I saw it on TV. There's certain areas up there that's calling for quite a bit of snow, a big deep freeze, and then as soon as that deep freeze goes by, there's a second one coming down, an Arctic freeze, which for this time of year, that's kind of early. I can tell you that I used to run a snow removal business on top of some other things that I did, and I made some pretty good money with it.
But you didn't until the second week of November.
No, I always figured here's how I figured how much money I'd make during the winter, because I know how much I contracted everything for. One snow in November, and usually that was around Thanksgiving weekend, because there was one weekend I had to come home for dinner for Thanksgiving. Hey, nice seat, gotta go. And I went out and was pushing snow. One snow, one push in December. Usually around Christmas time we got a push, which I don't think we get white Christmases anymore. 2 pushes in January, maybe 3, but that third one was never guaranteed, and 2 pushes in February, and maybe 1 push in March.
But the one in November had to be at least 2 inches or better.
All of them had to be 2 inches or better.
Yeah.
Because I did corporate stuff. I didn't do mom and pop driveways. That takes up too much time, and Dad always wants to come out and shoot the shit with you all day long, and you got things to do. So I did things like, you guys remember Airway shopping centers? I contracted Airways, Kmart. In Indiana, Marsh used
Village Pantry.
You know, they owned all the Village Pantries, which is up there. That's the start of the small convenience store gas stations, and Marsh owned them. And so I contract with Marsh to do all of them in my area. So just the Village Pantries alone, I had to buy another truck, and I worked out a deal with a friend of mine. He operated that truck, and then we communicated, and we went out and worked together to do all these things. I got to tell you, pushing snow for me at that time, I made pretty good amount of money. I made enough money with that I bought a brand new, what year was that Bronco I bought?
I don't have any idea.
I remember the 80-year-old guy that sold it to me had like 18 kids. He did. He had a ton of kids. He had like 4 wives, kids from every one of them. And I told him, I says, well, you're the guy I'm looking for. And he said, why would you want me to be your salesman instead of somebody closer to your age? And I said, because you're hungry. You need the money. And he laughed. He said, you're right. So we had that. I got a Western snowplow, a 6.5-foot snowplow. The other one, we got a Myers blade, and it was an International Scout. And in 1 year, we made enough money to push the snow. It paid all that off.
Yeah.
So we did okay. Yeah. Today, I'm not sure about all that.
Well, like I said, today we don't want to go back to the snow.
I would.
That's why we're here. But
I just wouldn't come outside the house when it got cold.
I mean, I've been cold for 3 days, and it's supposed to be 76 today. That's what the temperature gauge says, 76, but you couldn't prove it by me. What?
She's cold. She's got shorts on.
Well, I've got my shorts on, yeah.
She's cold.
It's 76.
See any logic in that? Is there any logic in that?
Well, I think maybe I'm catching a bug or something because I've been freezing for 3 days. But it is going to get chilly tomorrow. I don't think it's supposed to get into
Gobsmack 70s. Says their gas is about $7. I'm just going to assume that he's in California. You know, that other country.
Probably.
Well, I don't remember. Maybe he's in some foreign land. I don't know. I think he's in California.
I think he's in California, yeah.
Mr. Marlin is in Monticello, Illinois. It's 409 up there.
Yeah.
See, I'll never go anywhere in this camper. 329. Colorado's 329.
Okay.
South Carolina's 321.
Mr. Rizzo's shopping with the wife. So Mr. Rizzo's shopping at the wife. Why are you on your phone if you're shopping
at the what?
Shopping with his wife.
Why? Seriously.
Some people do that.
Why? Your wife can find whatever she wants. She don't need your opinion. And if you give your opinion, it's just going to lead to an argument.
Kathy B in the 603 says, "Hi, Skip and Sue. I've been renting here for 2 weeks, and I just drove by O'Shucks. Says it's very divey looking, but it was packed. Should I venture in the next time? Yes, you've got to go see it. It's not a palace,
They fixed the ceiling. It don't look like it's caving in anymore.
but they've got good food, and the ladies there are super. They really, really are. The ladies that run it. It's a family thing, and
It's a dive.
we've not had bad food there yet.
No,
really.
the food we've had. I mean, Roy even took the chance and got a plate of oysters.
Yeah.
Fresh oysters. And in that place, I'm looking at it. I'm going, I don't know if I'd eat them in here or not. You're liable to get sick. I mean, he ate them and he said they were great.
And then I got scallops when I was in there, and they give you twice as much as they do some of these cheesy restaurants around here for the same price.
Yeah.
So.
I'm just giving credit where credit's due.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're very good.
I've been in there several times. I've had a burger in there 3 or 4 times. And I got to tell you, with all the different hamburgers I've had around here, there's 3 hamburgers that stand out to me. One is, I got to admit, I went down at McGrady's and I told Sue, if they don't change, and I don't know if they will or they won't because it is a new place, that's probably one of the better hamburgers I've ever had anywhere in the village.
It's their sawgrass burger.
Yeah, but it's the meat. I don't care what they call it. They can call it the double down burger. I don't care. It's the meat. There was no gristle, hardly no fat. It was very texturally. It was very good to chew on. I know that sounds dumb, right? But it was really, really good. I'd buy another one for that price. Also, I don't know what potatoes they use because different potatoes have a different flavor when you cook them. And I don't know what grease they use because different grease has a different flavor when you cook in it. Those French fries I got down there with that hamburger was primo. I mean, they were very good. So $20 for all that, what I got and how good it was, I think I'd do it again. I hate to say that, but I think I would. I won't buy that $7.50 beer, but I would do that. Second place is when Square One opened up over here, when it was new, I wanted to go over there because I'd heard about it. Hold on a minute. Loud noises. There you go.
I was ready to hit you.
I said, let's go over there because we've heard a lot about Square One. It was all about their cattle. It's that they're raised a certain way. They don't have any hormones in them. In the ground feed, it's all ground fed. Blah blah blah. You know, you get the point. And the meat is all it's what they call whole ground. WHOLE, whole ground. That means they grind up the whole cow into a hamburger. Your T-bone steaks, your ribs, all that is hamburger. Now, my dad done that on the farm, and I remember what that stuff was. God, it was good. So we went to Square One day when we first went in. I wanted to see the place. I wanted to check it out, see what it was. First thing you're going to notice when you go to Square One is how unique this place is for a hamburger place.
Yeah, and this is storefront, in the shopping center. It's not drive-through or anything like that.
We went in there, and they had a corner table, and we weren't sitting there, but I just happened to notice this corner when you went in. There's a couple of longhorn cow heads hanging on the wall. There's a chandelier, I mean a big chandelier, hanging over the table. And as you walk through the place, you see these little chandeliers just kind of scattered here and there above these tables.
Yeah, a lot of red velvet.
A lot of red velvet.
Cowhide.
Really kind of cheesy.
Yeah.
But anyway, when it was first new, I got a hamburger there. And I told Sue that back then, this is before McGrady's, best hamburger I've ever had. I mean, there was something about it. It was a super, and I went back there 2 or 3 times. Then all of a sudden, during all this, and I don't know how much time went by, I went over there, and it was just another hamburger. That's all it was. There was grease dripping off of it that I never had before. It was just, and then I've been there 2 or 3 times. I'm not saying it's a bad place. I'm just comparing it to what it once was. And I told Sue, I said, it just ain't the same anymore. They've changed. And then the other good place I got a hamburger, the best hamburger, was O'Shucks was did I mention O'Shucks?
No.
O'Shucks. And O'Shucks, from the first time I went there years ago to the last time I went there a few months ago, we went there because Linda wanted to go there before they went back to California. The hamburger's always good. It's always the same. I don't see any changes at all. The only thing about O'Shucks is you're exactly right. It looks like a dive.
Yeah.
I mean, it just does.
But you can imagine with all those cars out there, I'm telling you, the food's good, and the service is good. Now I couldn't tell you much about their outside seating because I've never went outside, and the way the parking lot is, I hate to think
I've
about.
never even seen the outside
Well,
seating.
I know it's out the back door, but I've never went out
Yeah, they
there.
told us they had picnic tables outside. You could eat out there for large groups. Because I think I asked about that once about on my golfing when I was running a golfing thing. We always went out after a golf game, got a burger and a beer or something. I thought that'd be kind of cool to go there and set up a table for a large group. And the lady asked me, she said, "How many of them will be coming?" I said, "It varies, but I would say on an average, about 20 to 30 people would show up." Oh, she said, "We'd have to set you outside. We don't have room inside here for that." That's what I said. You got an outside seating? I didn't know that. She said, "Yeah, we set picnic tables outside." She said, "We just line picnic tables up. You can all sit out there." I said, "Well, that sounds good." We never went because my first experience when I went there, I kept looking at the building on the inside, the ceiling. You had to see the ceiling. And I just decided.
It went like this.
Yeah, it was like they had a big leak up there for a long time, and the roof just started sagging down like that. I mean, it was a conversation piece.
And Kathy B says that the Sawgrass doesn't have music on Monday and Tuesday. Okay, we'll keep that in mind. I look at it in the paper every day, and that's like we were looking to see in the paper they have an advertisement for Finney Grill, but they also advertise Under the Oaks and Under the Palms.
Where's that at? We ever find out?
It's down there at Finney somewhere. It's around the grill, but I'm not sure where at because when we were there was no tables or anything out there, but I said that was right before the hurricane, so they might have been moved. And I don't think they have it every day either, but when it's in the paper, they have it, and they have different entertainment and different food. So it's not the restaurant itself; it's something different. But I might have to go check it out because I really don't know. And I asked Judy, and she didn't know. But she thought to the right side there was a picnic table. So I said, well, that wouldn't be, if they have entertainment, that wouldn't be enough over there. So, but we're going to go check it out.
Costco in Dallas, Martin says it's $2.93. That's probably with a Costco discount card or whatever. I don't have a Costco anything.
No, we have BJ's and Sam's Club because we don't have a Costco here.
Yesterday, Murphy Oil on 466 was $3.47. That's here.
Yeah. And then I said, and Phoenix. I don't know if y'all noticed or not, but our marathons are now Circle K's. They just changed that a week or two ago. And so I'm hoping they have a little bit better prices than what Marathon did, but it doesn't seem like there's much difference right now. But the one over by in Lake Deaton, they changed, and the one over on 466A, they changed. And they're both Circle K locations now.
Gringo Loco says Cordobas are only legal tender in, I'm going to say, Nicaragua.
Nicaragua. I can't hardly say that either.
Nicaragua, Cuba, and Venezuela. Huh. I didn't know Venezuela done business with anybody since that, what's his name? The dictator there.
In
not Moriega. That's the guy we put in jail. That's the reason why Yanez here.
That's Venezuela.
I know it. What's the dictator's name? Maduro. I'll tell you what, there's a guy right there. You ever wonder? I got a question for you. There's a guy, one person, one human being, Maduro, stealing and taking everything people's got away from them they've had forever. No food. The people are just starving there, and they're trying to get out of the country for all these reasons. Millions of people are trying to get out of the country because of one guy. So how's come all these millions of people just don't get together and go take care of this guy? I've never understood that.
Chris said they're going to be renting for 2 years first, but they haven't got an area picked out. The guy from the UK, they haven't got an area picked out yet, but they're going to be renting for 2 years.
Well, I would recommend, as far as picking an area out, try to rent somewhere if you can in an area that you're really interested in buying in, because that way you can live in that area for a while and you may learn something you didn't know. If you're really seriously about wanting to buy a brand new house, then obviously you want to rent somewhere south of 44 because that's where they're at. If you like the Spanish look, the Spanish Springs area, whatever, pick a neighborhood, a decent neighborhood up there. They're all decent, but you know what I mean. that's got a house that's maybe kind of in the price range you might be looking at, rent that house. And, check the area out first, because you
Yeah.
might save yourself a lot of money. You might find something out that you go, you know what? I didn't realize this was this way. I'm not going to live here, because there's a big age difference. Now they're starting to turn over up north. The older people are moving out for one reason or another, and younger people are starting to buy up there and move in. That can be good. It can be bad. Obviously, down at the Finney area, the average age down there is much younger in the retiring areas down there than they are, say, in my area. My area is probably an average. I'm 70 now. I moved in here when I was 62 and a half. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first moved in, the average age was probably close to what I was, 60 to 62, 3, somewhere in that area. But a lot of those people's left, other people's moved in. So I don't know what the average age is here now. So that's the big thing, I think, is try to move in an area to where age-wise you kind of fit in, because one or two things are going to happen if you don't. If you go into an older area and you're the young guy in the neighborhood, you're going to find yourself the go-to guy. Everybody in the neighborhood that knows you is going to call you up, say, "Can you come over and help me?" That's what happens all the time.
And that's not a bad thing if you want to help your neighbors, no. But
if you want to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for free, and taking a chance on breaking your arm, breaking your leg, and throwing your back out, you go right ahead and do that. I've put my foot down a lot of that stuff. I said, I'm not doing it anymore. And I've made enemies by doing that, saying I'm just not doing it anymore, because I'm elderly now, and I do have back issues, and I'm not doing it. Whether they like it or whether they don't like it, that's just the name of that tune. If you go to a younger area where you're from, first of all, you won't get into that issue, but when you talk to your neighbors and things, they're going to know what you're talking about. It's like an older guy like me, and when I talk to my granddaughters, I used to go, "Oh yeah, man, I used to love it when Jerry Lee Lewis." I mentioned that because he died recently, and I used to listen to Great Balls of Fire, and I mentioned the Beatles, and they'll look at you, Beatles. You don't know who the Beatles are? No, they don't know who the Beatles are. I can't believe that. So that's what I'm talking about.
yeah, and most of our grandkids do, because the boys were musical. But yeah, just I never really realized it till one day. Our neighbors up north, they had a couple little kids, cute little kids, and they had to get they'd had an accident and had to get a rental car, and of course they went with the cheapest car company they could. And they didn't have the kids didn't have any idea how to roll down the windows because it had a hand crank. They'd never done that before.
I'll bet you half the kids wouldn't know how to shift a car that had the 3 on a tree. You know what I'm talking about? You shift to the gear. Well, you guys know what I'm talking about. But and I bet most of the kids today probably have no idea how to manually shift a car and use a clutch. Period. It's all automatic. And I got to tell you, the older people are just as bad. How many times have we drove down the road, it's half dark outside, raining like crazy, and half the cars don't even have their headlights on, like they never heard of this rule, turn your headlights on when it's raining out.
Yeah.
You're going to get killed if you keep doing that. But yeah, because why? Automatic lights. They do that. The lights just come on by
they're used
themselves.
to it, yeah. Okay.
People will forget, and their knee will hit a button or something. Next day they get up, their battery's dead in their car because their lights were on in the garage all night long and went dead. Well, they always shut themselves off by themselves.
Wow.
They're so used to that I don't know, they just don't think about some things. I'm not that way. I'm going down the road, and if it's raining, I'm checking. My lights better be on, because I generally turn them on manually. I want to make sure they're on. Listen, I was that truck driver. I know that when it's raining hard and the road's wet and you're passing me and you ain't got any lights on, there's a spray going right there. I cannot see you.
Well, it looks like, we're pretty lucky as far as the gas prices go. We're still in the threes, and most everybody's in the fours now. Monticello is 409. California is 7. Phoenix is 420 to 460. Dave Dempsey says it's 444 for golf cart gas at Lake Deaton.
Well, golf cart gas is always higher.
Yeah.
That sounds about right to me.
466 Murphy's Oil. Rick Gottinger says 347 a gallon. So that's uh, 293 at Costco and
Meadow
Dallas. He
says
said
that
that.
Disney is $10 or more. What?
They're talking about the beer.
Oh, well, yeah, that's Disney, captured audience, you
Yeah.
know. And it's kind of, in some ways, I feel like that here. We're a captured audience.
Yeah.
You know, and I just don't like playing that game. I don't want to say it's that way everywhere. It's not. But in some areas, like McGrady's, I feel like because that's new, and you know, developer owns that restaurant. It's kind of like when um, Finney Bar and Grill opened up. And I don't know today, but at that one point for a long time, the developer owned that restaurant. And when you went in there, the price of food and things was more than reasonable. We've been there, but we had no cell phone service down there. I'm sure they probably changed that up to this point, but we had 37 guys there having a beer and a burger after a golf game down there when they first opened up the 2 executive courses there, Gray Squirrel, Red Squirrel, whatever. And we went down and played them. We're in there. None of us had any cell service at all. None of us. And that was the biggest complaint at that time. People were buying homes down there, and I heard 2 complaints in the Finney area. One was cell phone service. I think they've made it better now, but it was terrible. The second one was they didn't realize there was dynamiting that went on down there every month. Remember that?
Yeah.
Everybody. My dishes were rattling. I thought I was in an earthquake. Yeah, they have a gravel pit down there, and they dynamite like 2 or 3 days a month down there, and they didn't know it. We knew it. We tried to tell people, but apparently they didn't watch my videos.
And they've got a 10-year. They had a 10-year lease to do that. They had permission to do that for 10 years. So
yeah, it's not going anywhere. Well, it's been 8 years now, so I say a couple more years, but they'll renew that lease.
Oh yeah, if they need to. So, Mr. Rizzo says it's 86 in the Keys. Yeah,
I thought he was back up here.
Well, he is, I think, but like I said, that's just the temperature down there. But you know, it's not cold here, really. It's 76. It's just overcast. It's cloudy, and there was a little bit of wind. I don't think there is much right now.
It's chillier today than it was yesterday.
Yeah.
By the way, came out here. I stayed up last night to see the Artemis take off. I watched it on TV, kept waiting and waiting and waiting, and the countdown. We're getting down to 10 minutes, and everything stopped. I thought, son of a bitch! I sit up here till 2 o'clock in the morning, and now it's on hold. And they never would say if they was going to repost. Then after I don't even know what time it was, then the count resumed. So I come out here. Generally, we can sit here and we can see it take off over there, and especially this big thing. So I thought, well, I'll see it. I sat here. I walked around. I kept looking and kept looking and kept looking. I never saw nothing. Never saw that first light. Never saw the stream. Never saw nothing. So only thing I can figure last night is it must have been cloudy out. That's all I know.
Yeah. Like I said, that's overcast, and I said you can't see it from here, but I said it's usually on a good day.
As bright as this thing was.
Yeah.
I figured I'd see it.
Yeah, at night you can see it pretty good because you can see the flame. And I said this is the first one that NASA has sent. This one was going to orbit around the moon. First one since 1984, I believe. And so it was, it was kind of important.
Rick Anderson says I have an attitude.
Do you have an attitude?
I guess.
Who knew? Okay.
Martin says, I bet you don't have much bird lovers subscribed to your channel.
Oh, my, you're way back there. That was when you were talking about the redbirds, yeah.
Oh, I don't do anything. Don't get me wrong. I don't shoot. You can't shoot here anyway. It's against the law or anything like that. They just get on my nerves because they're migrating through. Every year, at certain times of year, there's certain things that migrate from the north to the south. And then at certain times of year, there's birds down here that's migrating back up to the north, wherever they're going. And this redbird is one of them. Now, I don't know what it is, but that's the first one I've seen so far. And they'll be here as they migrate through, a couple of months. And they go through my flower beds, and I've got this red bark mulch. And this bird has a long beak on it, and it goes through this mulch. It's looking for bugs is what it's doing. And it flips the mulch out in the grass. And so I'll go out here every morning, and I come out here, and I kick the mulch back in there. And every evening I come back out here, and it's back out in the grass again.
It's funny to watch that little bird just flip stuff out in the yard.
And then that'll be it. That'll be it till next year. He'll be gone. And now this is that time of year also where the mockingbirds should start coming back wherever they went. And the mockingbirds, when they get back here, they'll stay here all summer. And I like mockingbirds. They got all kinds of they imitate other bird songs, and I like that.
Yeah.
What I don't like about them is they also attack my geckos.
Oh, happy birthday! Yesterday was Mr. Rizzo's birthday. And I said, I don't like the O birthdays. I said, when you get to an O birthday, that's kind of kind of a stop right there. Things are going to be different from here on out. But
Chris says he was the one that gate crashed our Porch Settin.
Yeah.
I remember who it is. I just got them mixed up with the ones that brought us the cookies. I didn't know who was.
Yeah, they were, like I said, they were military in Germany.
Yeah. By the way, them cookies from Germany they brought us had German chocolate on it. Those were damn good.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't last long.
No. Now, the gingerbread with the chocolate, I wasn't crazy about that. It was a little bit different. But the others were good. And, I seen some with the same name at Aldi's. They have a lot of German stuff because that's where they come from.
Here's what gets me all this confusion. It's like, this is like confusing to me. Reagan Shulman says England is in the UK, but the UK is not part of the EU, European Union.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what any of that is. Sharon, right under her, says England is Great Britain, but part of the United Kingdom.
I don't know.
I would move. Good Lord, that is confusing.
I would have to sit down and give it a lot of thought to keep track. Now, if you grew up, over there, it would be a big deal. But
oh, your cousin moved over there. Cousin, niece.
My niece lives over there.
Yeah, we ain't seen them in years, but she's got 2 kids now.
No, she's just got the one little girl right now.
Oh, she just had another one.
No, I don't think so. But she's staying there.
Well, yeah, she's a citizen now, I think.
Yeah. She had dual citizenship.
Why can't I have dual citizenship?
You have to apply for it. They don't just come around and hand it to you.
Why not?
I won't even.
We give out things in this country to everybody. Free housing, free medical, free citizenship. So I want to be dual citizenship with another country that also has Social Security. That way I can collect 2.
That'd be greedy.
Yeah. Aren't we supposed to get a Social Security raise here pretty soon?
Yes. And in January. It'd be substantial. From what I'm hearing.
A buck of beer in a bar at Nicaragua. I used to watch a guy on YouTube. It's kind of interesting. And then he started doing world traveling, and he just disappeared off YouTube. Haven't seen him in a long time. It was called, I'm not subscribed to it anymore because he just disappeared. It's called Stop Wasting Your Time. Or anyway, he bought a little house in Nicaragua. Then he built a brand new house in Nicaragua. And then he was renting it out to Airbnbers or something like that. And he would just walk around Nicaragua and show you what it was. It was a lot of toward the beach area there, a lot of bars, a lot of things like that. But kind of like an island type life, really. And I don't know. The part that he showed on there didn't really interest me. It almost kind of reminded me of Haiti in some ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like the looks of it. But I remember Nicaragua is where Noriega come from. Noriega is in our federal prison now, I think in Miami area, because he used Nicaragua as a path of smuggling drugs in the United States.
Is he still alive?
I think he is, but he's like 80 years old now.
Oh, man.
One thing about the United States, if we catch you doing something and you're a world leader and it hurts the United States, we'll put you in federal prison and you disappear. We complain about how communist countries, how people disappear. We do the same thing. We just know where they're at. We think we know where they're at. We don't really know he's in federal prison. They just told us he's there.
Land girl says it's 48 degrees in Georgia.
Yeah,
It's coming.
this cold thing comes all the way down to Georgia.
Yeah. Well, I said it's going to get us tomorrow. We're going to be about 10 degrees cooler.
Yeah, I was going to say, Florida, we're not going to get hit nothing like those guys do, but it's going to come down here. But it's like a blue area. It comes all the way down to Georgia, and then there's a Florida border because the cold knows to stop there. Okay, the low battery thing's on. We're going to have to...
Oh, okay.
Okay, low battery thing came on, so we're going to have to end this. I knew I didn't have very much battery in here, but we got to talk to you anyway for a while.
Yeah.
So thanks for coming, everybody. Next week, I'll try to make sure the battery's charged.
And the microphones work.
Well, the microphones do work. It was a dead battery. Now, I know something. I didn't know that. I didn't know if the battery went dead, that it would shut both microphones off. I had no idea.
Yeah.
So now I do know.
Haven't seen Wrestler today. He must be busy.
Lunch. I always come out here at noontime when he's on his lunch break.
Yeah, okay.
Battery on this microphone goes in here. And the reason why I like using these battery microphones is because Sue's got a microphone that has no battery in it. So in order for that microphone to work, it's drawing juice out of my iPad which makes the battery right there go dead even faster. So this one doesn't do that. That's the reason why. Any of you that think about starting a YouTube channel, it's just food for thought.
Oh my, it was Joy's birthday too. Well, happy birthday to you.
Who?
Joy.
Hey, Joy, she's here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, go out and have a birthday dinner somewhere.
Yeah, have a drink.
Where'd we take you for birthday? We went up to that fish place.
It was 2 years ago.
It was last year. Yeah.
Okay. This year we had a hurricane on my birthday.
I said it was last year.
Oh, okay. Last year. Okay.
What's the name of that fish place?
Bonefish.
Hmm?
Bonefish.
Bonefish. Yeah, we went up there. A little pricey, but if you do go there, if you've never had the, what do we get for appetizer?
Bang Bang Shrimp.
Yeah, I'll get that. Bang Bang Shrimp. That is so good.
Yeah, but so many of them now, they're giving you like 5 shrimp. That's it. You know, and it's just not worth messing with anymore.
I don't know the Bonefish is doing that.
No, I don't know that Bonefish is doing that.
I don't think Bonefish would do that. They'd raise the price first because one thing I know about the better restaurants, they don't like to compromise their food. They would much rather compromise the price.
Yeah.
And I think that's correct. Raise the price $1. Don't change your recipe. Macaroni Grill did that to me once, and I didn't know what they were doing. And I questioned it. And then the chef came out and told me what they were doing. The corporate offices never told anybody that they were going to do what they did. And I haven't been back to Macaroni Grill in, I know, at least 10 years. I just don't go back anymore because of that. I just think that's a ripoff. When they change the recipe, because it's cheaper and more profitable, but they don't let the customers know the recipe's been changed.
They changed it to make it healthier.
I didn't ask for that.
I know.
You know, it's just kind of like, what do you get? Mushrooms. I don't really care for mushrooms all that much on everything. I just don't, you know. And then you go to a restaurant and you order this steak, and then the waiter brings it out and sets it in front of you. And all over the steak is these mushrooms everywhere. And the guy, I said, I didn't order the mushrooms. He goes, no, you didn't. You didn't have to. We took it upon ourselves, me and the people back in the kitchen and all the staff here, and we decided we were going to chop up all these mushrooms and put them all over your steak just for you.
Some people like mushrooms.
They should ask me first. What if I was allergic to them?
That's true.
That being said, I'll see you guys on the other side.
Bye.